Hello and welcome to this conversation. I am so grateful you are here. The information that I will share with you over the series of videos will not only be life-changing, but in many instances, life-saving, as it was for me. So the conversation around addiction is not new, and alcohol in particular. Well, why is alcohol considered alcohol and drugs? And I, like most people on this planet, have been not only brainwashed, but lied to about alcohol. Now, this is not to make any excuse for my addiction with alcohol, which began in my early 40s. I am now 48. And by the grace of God, it was short-lived. However, it was extreme. I do believe that I was in the top, maybe even top 5 percentile of the worst cases there are. I am so grateful I did not kill anybody, that I did not die, and that I am here to share critical information with you. And it didn't only save my life, it's given me access to live a life I never thought possible, even before my addiction. So if you think that you might have a problem or even questioning your drinking, I encourage you to watch this. I, like most people, grew up thinking alcohol was a disease. Alcoholism, it's a disease. And although almost 90% of people drink alcohol, it is more socially acceptable to drink alcohol than it is not. Yet, it is such a social stigma to be an addict, to be an alcoholic. I know, I have been labeled all of the above. I've been to 2 clinical detoxes. I've been to 2 clinical rehabilitations and AA. My mom has been in recovery for over 30 years. I'm very familiar with AA. I've been into AA. I've been to daily meetings. When I was in adolescence, I was an Al-Anon for adult children of alcoholics. And I too believed that alcohol was a disease, that I somehow was inflicted with this unique brain chemistry, predisposed genetic disease because I have alcoholism in my family. There was such cognitive dissonance because I am a scientist. I have 13 research publications in medical journals. I am published in a book. I have my degree in exercise, sports science, sports medicine, physiology, graduate classes in nutrition, as well as sociology. I'm an educator. I'm an international lecturer, presenter, and teacher. I've been in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years. I have been highly educated and conscientious about health and wellness and have educated, shared, empowered from a ontological, which is the study of what is being a human being, leadership level, to what it is to live a holistic, healthy life, physically, nutritionally, you name it. It's been my life. Yet at 40 years old, when I chose to start using alcohol to self-medicate, instead of the fun, social, still dangerous, I became highly addicted to it. Alcohol is not a disease. Alcohol is an addiction. It is not alcohol and drugs. Alcohol is an addictive substance, period. Alcohol is one of the top 4 riskiest drugs we can ingest as a human being. It's alcohol, tobacco, cocaine, and heroin, with alcohol being considered as the riskiest. Yet, it is more socially acceptable to drink alcohol. Yet the dichotomy and the inverse relationship with most everything has is it is such a social stigma to be an alcoholic and addict. Well, let me tell you, if you are a human being, like I believed my brain somehow was defunct, somehow was different, Although scientifically, it went against every grain in my body, every knowledge that I had about the human being, about physiology, about anatomy, about neurology, which I have extensive education in all of it. It went against all that, but somewhere in my subconscious, I was led to believe that I had a unique disease. When I've been all over the world teaching how we as human beings in leadership and empowerment courses in Israel, the documentary is posted, that before we talk about any conflict at hand in Israel, we're going to share and show you how more similar we are as human beings than we are different. What drives us far away are our belief systems. We are physiologically, as a species, more similar than different, yet somewhere in my subconscious, I believed it was a disease. And what happened? I became addicted to it because I was not educated on alcohol. In fact, before I was born, my parents owned, I was born in Lake Tahoe, California. My parents owned the first bar in the Nevada, California line. I was around alcohol as an infant. I grew up in an alcoholic family. It wasn't only socially acceptable, it's actually just what you do. It's what you do when you turn 21. It's what we do at weddings, bridal showers, baby showers. It's how we have fun. It is a social status, not if you are a homeless drunkard, but if you are out buying $300, $500 bottles of wine, you are like, hell, I've been there. I've been all over the gamut with drinking the cheapest vodka you can imagine straight out of the bottle. It is devastating. It is a killer. Alcohol is flat out an addictive substance. I will go into the science and tell you exactly what happens to your brain, what happens to you chemically, what happens to you physiologically, what happens to you emotionally, what happens to you societally. But what we're up against is the alcohol industry, which spends $6.7 billion more than anything else on the planet to portray how glamorous alcohol is. Expected to exceed to 7.7 billion. I too believe somewhere in my subconscious, I was getting something out of drinking alcohol. Even when it almost killed me, I would be sober for months on end. I physically was not addicted to alcohol, but I went back and drank it again. Why? Because of my brain. My brain was wired somewhere that there was benefit to it. And in fact, when I didn't drink, it was so uncomfortable and people around me were so uncomfortable not to drink. I had in my mind AA. I will get into the distinctions between AA and what I have discovered. I am no longer consider myself sober. I consider myself alcohol-free. I learned this term through This Naked Mind, the author Annie Grace, via a dear friend that I would have never imagined was not going to drink in her life. And to this day, she has freedom and liberation. And I can tell you that I am free, I am liberated. And for me, it was diving into what I do best is research, getting the knowledge, getting the facts. Why? Because our brain is an organ. Its job is to have us survive. And in order to do that, we need knowledge. You and I aren't going to attempt to jump off a 5-story building. We don't even have to think about it. Well, yeah, you get to the edge and some of us have maybe that questionable urge, but we scientifically know that gravity exists. If we jump off, we are going to get maimed or die. We don't do it. We don't touch a hot stove. We don't do these things. And we go about our business drinking alcohol like it is somehow this elixir. It is this magic thing that will make us happy, will take away our stress. All this, I believed it at my subconscious level. It wasn't until I truly educated myself and gained the knowledge that my emotion and my relationship around alcohol changed, therefore my behavior. This is also behavioral science. I will go detail into it in the next video.